What's good, beautiful people? How are you? This is your girl, Divine Karma, coming in with a conversation and a message. All right. I send you peace, light, love, and harmony, as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. I have made it. My glasses is filthy. I have made it to California. All right. Got unpacked this AM, and here I am. Finally went and got my hair cut. All right. Before you do anything, make sure you smash the like button for your girl and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. The message that I have, there's some information about health, about diseases. I got this channel for some of you with severe illnesses. All right. Let me just say I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. For some of you that have severe illnesses or diseases that you have been dealing with for a long time, I am hearing, if you can change your frequency, if you can change your energy about how you approach it, how you think about it, and how you uh, manage it mentally, is, for lack of better words, by this winter, you will see a massive change in your health, right? A massive change. Because I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not saying you are going to be healed, but you very well could be. But by this winter, a lot of you chose the energy of disease or an illness or things of that nature. People say all the time, some people are born with things, some people just embody it, and it gets a hold of them later in life. But I remember when I first got conscious and I was studying Dolores Cannon a lot, and she made sense when she said this, and it made so much sense and resonated with my soul about reincarnation. And a lot of people come back, your soul, and you sign up for certain things so it can be your last incarnation here, right? So even if that's the case, and it's something from a past life or some karma you're trying to balance out, I'm telling you, if you change how you look at it, if you change, make some health changes, and not just, the eating or, whatever medication, whatever the situation may be, there is a strong energy around the acceptance that you've had of this illness, the fate that you've given yourself. So I'm hearing some of you may have already diagnosed yourself before you even went to the doctor, right? People are becoming overnight doctors by looking stuff up on Google, right? But here's the thing. You have some guides and angels and the divine that has been trying to reach you and trying to help you overstand, understand, and understand. There is this energy for some people that gave up, right? Just said, forget it. This is it. This is, there's nothing I can, and there is something you can do about it. There are so many stories. I was watching Billy Carson one day, and he told this story, and this happened. It was this man, older man, and he had cancer. And something happened. I think it was a car accident. He got into a car accident or something like that, to where he lost his memory, right? So he didn't remember that he had been diagnosed with cancer and had been living with cancer all these years, right? Do you know, once, because he did not remember anything, nothing about having cancer, it was gone. Literally went away. Like this is for real, for real. Literally went away. You have this one vessel. We have this one body, and the divine, gave you this, this vessel to come in. True enough, you make this soul contract to come, right? But there's so much negativity and a lot of you have given up. And they keep saying, if you will change that frequency by wintertime, you will see a whole different you. Be grateful. Even in the days where you don't, I'm hearing, maybe somebody has cancer, even in the days when it's a struggle, right? There's something about the energy you embody. There's something about you giving up. For some of you, I'm picking up, you know, diseases or illnesses that are pertaining to health, far as what you eat, overweight, things of this nature, and just, I'm speaking to, and there's this is the thing that a lot of Christians, like just a lot of religious folks, walk away from. You cannot be in the energy of Christ consciousness, in the frequency and energy of the divine, of God, of the creator of all, right? And not take care of your body. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but it is utterly disrespectful to the divine, to yourself, to to the soul contract that you created to come. Like, it's disrespectful to not take care of yourself, right? And some people, the obesity on this planet is just insane. It is insane. And they don't make it any easier by making all the garbage food cheap. The dollar menu can literally kill you, right? But if you try to eat healthy, it costs more. And I tell people all the time. And when they say, you went plant-based, you went vegan, da 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 da, that food costs a lot. And I tell them, you're going to pay either way. You're either going to pay at the doctor, the copay, the pharmacy for the diabetes, for the high blood pressure, for whatever illnesses, or you're going to pay at the farmer's market and the grocery store and the fresh foods. You might as well pay at the farmer's market. You might as well pay at the more expensive grocery store. You might as well. It's your choice, because you going to give that money up one way or another. It's about who you're going to give it to. Now, if you choose that, decide you want to give it to Big Pharma, by all means, you go ahead and do that. But on a spiritual level, and I want to ask you this. If your transition and where you go when you transition, if your spiritual, the next journey, and where your soul goes or where your spirit goes when you leave this physical body, depended 111% on how well you treated this vessel that the divine gave you, right? Did you take care of it? Did you eat right? Right? Did you, how many of you would not, like, you would fail? You would lose. And I'm raising, because at one point I was that person, right? I was that person. And I love to ask Christians that, and religious people that, because you can't be in the Christ consciousness, even if for the religious folks that think, Yeshua is coming back and all this extraness, right? But you missed the whole part about, you think because you read the Bible and because you believe in who y'all call Jesus Christ, right? And because you believe in, God, y'all version of God, Alpha and Omega, and all of this, believe in the faith. But do you actually believe that you can do all of that and disrespect the vessel that the divine gave you and still think that you're going to what religious folks call heaven? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's not how this works. Now, that's a different version than being born with the disease. And, a lot of people, a lot of religious folks struggle with, how can God let a baby be born with, muscular dystrophy, whatever the illness is. That person signed up for that. Their soul signed up for that, right? But when you acquire something out of your own lack of discipline, right? Out of your own will to give up. And I'm talking about obesity, diabetes, things that that you can control. And I know these people have told you diabetes is hereditary, scientifically proven, flat out lie. Scientifically proven, flat out lie. Don't believe me? Go do your own research, right? Heart disease, strokes, heart attacks. What is it? These are things because of lack of discipline. These are the things that because you didn't choose to cherish and respect and uphold the health part of your contract with God, with the divine, right? And I'm not judging because I was there. I was almost 300 pounds in 2015, right? Went into a depression for a little while, had a lot going on, and before I know, I was like 280 and some change. Had got diagnosed with diabetes in 2009. High blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 medications daily, right? 2015, somebody introduced me to Dr. Sebi. 6 months is what it took me. I went vegan. In 6 months, my A1C and my diabetes people know, went from a 7.4 to a 5.3 in 6 months. Did not go to a gym and work out not one time. Lost 70 pounds. Got rid of diabetes. Got rid of high blood pressure. Got rid of high cholesterol. All meds gone. Ain't been on no meds since, right? Did I gain some of the weight back? Yeah, at some point. I think the most I gained back was a little over 20 pounds, right? I just dropped 50 pounds in the last, I want to say maybe 3 months altogether. And that just came from where I was at recently as well. I didn't like to cook a lot, so I was doing a lot of raw vegan, just salads and fruits and, maybe some pasta here and there. But here's the thing. When I went plant-based, when I went vegan, I did it for health reasons because I didn't want to transition like that. Like I didn't want to be taking all these pills. I didn't want to do all, like I was done with the pills. I was like, I'm not going out like this, right? In the middle of doing it for the health reasons, my spiritual awakening happened just like that. I had started fasting in this 6 month time frame. Started doing 24-hour fast, right? Started doing 48-hour fast. Started doing intermittent fasting. My third eye opened up like it was nobody's business. I was so on to water and drinking high alkaline water and spring water. I'm telling you, my spiritual awakening happened like my third eye opened up immediately. I was having outer body experiences, everything. But the most important thing was I felt like I had did what I was supposed to do. I felt like my soul had a conversation with the divine. I said, and I apologize. You gave me this vessel, and between depression and not being on top of and we all been there. We are, all of us go through it. I'm not down to nobody, but I feel like my soul had a conversation with the divine, and just was like, I knew I could do better, and I'm doing better, and I'm going to continue to do better. And my weight, has fluctuated a little bit. But the thing is, once I feel it, it's like it ain't nothing for me to say, ooh, okay, let me go ahead and jump. Let me go ahead and go, you know, do me a few days of fasting, get back on some raw vegan for a week or two. And it's nothing to do that, right? And then I've just done it, done it again. So I'm saying that to say this. If the divine, if God just came in human form to you today or tonight when you lay down and literally said, have you taken care of the vessel that I gave you? Have you? Have you taken care of the vessel that I gave you? What would your answer be? And I'm not talking about, something you was, so-called born, born with. I'm not talking about that because that happens. But for me, I truly think that's it. That soul contract, paying some karmic debt back when children come into the world with severe illnesses. For me, I see that as a soul contract. They chose to do that because they want to balance out some, karma. They don't want to reincarnate. That was a contract their soul made to finish out of this cycle, right? But outside of that, things that you've acquired. I don't know why I'm getting information about STDs, right? Sex is a sacred energy exchange, right? Have you been playing Russian roulette? You know what I'm saying? So honor this physical vessel. I've been getting a lot of requests lately about people just, have been seeing my trend, like literally have seen me on camera, just my whole physique has changed, and it has. And have been asking me for tips and things like that. I've done this before. I'm going to do another one, another PDF. Um, and even if you don't want to go plant-based, but just how to, eat cleaner, or, I'm putting together a PDF. I'll try to have it done here in the next couple of weeks. I got to start my new job money and get my Monday and get money. Woo, and I receive it and get myself together. But if you can change how you see your health, right? Your guides and angels are saying you will have a new you by the time winter hits. And whatever that means. And I'm not telling you to go jump out there and go buy $500 worth of equipment. People get so insane when you can take baby steps. Just go walking. Go walk at a brisk pace for 30 minutes every day, right? Try eating, at least one of your meals out of the day. That's nothing but, fresh fruits and vegetables. Just baby steps. But for some of you, you've given up. Like you've given up. And a lot of you feel like your disease or illness or disease has gotten worse. I'm telling you, it is also from the frequency and that you've accepted it. And I know this story, people say, well, you know what, if I'm gonna leave, I want to leave here happy. Let me tell you one of the most selfish things that just when people say stuff like that, I don't care. I'm gonna be like this. The doctor done told you to change your eating habits, or you overweight, whatever the case may be. And you hear people say this. Well, if I'm gonna leave here, I want to leave here happy. Let me tell you why that's the most selfish thing that I've ever heard. It is your choice. This is a free will planet, right? But you mean to tell me you're that selfish to where your children, your loved ones, your family, your friends, your spouse, whoever, everybody that loves you. You mean to tell me you're that selfish to where you would rather let than watch you die. Well, not, I'm sorry, unalive yourself and watch you suffer. Because when you don't take care of your body, right, you want to have disease? Oh, I'm going to tell you, things are going to start shutting down and failing on you at some point in your life because you didn't take care of this body, right? And you mean to tell me you would rather go through pain and suffering and let your family and friends and loved ones watch you go through this pain and suffering on your way out instead of just honoring the vessel that the divine gave you? I have no, I have no, no patience, I'll say, for people with diabetes that choose to continue to be diabetic. Why? Because I did it. You cannot tell me I did it. And yes, I had type 2. And I know people say, well, you know, I'm insulin dependent. I got type 1. There are stories of people with type 1 that were insulin dependent that got rid of diabetes. I worked with one before. You can't tell me discipline, and not just discipline, caring enough about this vessel that the divine gave you in this instance to take care of it, right? That's respect to God. Now, if you came in with born with something, totally different, but you don't have to accept defeat. Even if you were born with something, you don't have to accept defeat, right? So I am going to drop this off here. And I will chat with y'all soon. Y'all know the drill. I love you, and I love it when you love me back. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.